Dennis Wolf and Kai Greene at the 2013 Mr. Olympia event. A lot of people say Dennis should have placed higher than Kai. Kai placed second, Dennis placed third. Before I go on, I have to mention that this is a fan-requested comparison, so thank you, Jan Copolt. And he definitely thinks that Dennis Wolf deserved second place. Well, without you fans, I would not be here. I would not be making videos, so this is my way of saying thank you to you guys. And I will honor the very first request on this video. Just food for thought, so get one out there if you've been waiting. Now, the Iron Grind, if you guys remember him, the channel, another YouTuber, friend of mine, he did this video, and he believed that Dennis Wolf was better than Kai Greene. Hard to say, of course, from the front relaxed. I don't know where the Iron Grind went. He doesn't make videos anymore. But anyway, hope he comes back someday. Yes, it's hard to tell from the front relaxed. And there's no rear relaxed, so the symmetry round, I don't put much stock into that anyway. Front double bicep pose. Now, I'm sure a lot of you would give this one to Dennis Wolf just based on that small waistline. But I have a problem with the waistline itself. It is too long. He has the Nathan D'Asha syndrome, I guess you could say. I don't know, guys. The peaks on Kai Greene's biceps, and Dennis Wolf has a flat bicep peak. I mean, both of them have great legs, but when I look at the calves, it's a battle. It's an uphill battle for Dennis Wolf, rather. Let's have another shot, and there is several shots of each pose, I will say, just to keep things fair. And yeah, guys, it's going to be hard for Dennis Wolf. He has a lot of quad separation, and he has a small waistline, and his arms look a little bit better in this picture, but it's just too much. The peaks and those biceps of Kai Greene. I'm going to have to give a slight edge to Kai Greene, and I've been criticized for my slight edges here and slight edges there. What do you think? I'm going to give equal pointing for a dominant victory and to one that's almost virtually identical? And I didn't even bother to remember the guy's name. Foolish negative comments, I just try to ignore them. But really, guys, if it's a slight edge, it's a slight edge. But anyway, I don't mean to get upset. Front lat spread. Both of these characters are just awesome in this pose. It's not a very good angle of Dennis Wolf. Here's another one. And like I said, there is several shots of each. This time the angle is much more favoring for Dennis Wolf. So really you have to take all things into consideration. In the front double bicep, much like this pose, Dennis Wolf has the edge in the quad separation. They're much more conditioned. But I look at the calves every time, and that kind of cancels that out. Let's bring a better shot up here that favors both guys. Man, both of these guys have some of the best lat developments that I've ever seen. They go all the way up underneath that armpit. Just fantastic. But when we pan back a little bit, yes, Dennis has those little weak calves, and it is very distracting. But I think it's just too much for Dennis with that quad sweep, at least in the front double bicep. Kai was beating him in the bicep development alone, but not here in the lat development. Dennis Wolf is just as good or better than Kai Greene. And with that quad sweep, that X-frame, but I have to say, this is a battle. These guys are fighting. Now we go to the side, and oh my soul. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Any of you Kai Greene fans that have ever called out Phil Heath on his gut? My soul. Call the kettle whatever color you want. Kai Greene is shaped like a kettle, one of them teapots. Oh, wow. I wouldn't even care if Dennis Wolf had no muscle at all. I would give him this one. And aside from the gut, it would be a heck of a battle. Look at Kai Greene's big bulbous chest. But there is a more bulbous piece of equipment that he has strapped to his waistline. Oh my soul, triple soul. Let's have another shot here, and what's the point? I mean, he's not as pregnant as he was in the first shot, but actually This is terrible, guys. And why did Kai Greene not get called out on this as much? 2013, he went big, and what a mistake. What a mistake. And Dennis Wolf, on the contrary, look at his waistline. And he's been guilty of a gut, too. There was an Arnold Classic where he was famous for his big gut. Not to mention, Dennis Wolf has the advantage in the quad sweep and the hanging hamstrings made famous by Dennis Wolf. Kai has the calves, but it doesn't matter. Let's have another shot of that big gut from Kai Greene. Have you honestly ever seen such a big belly on somebody that's supposed to be a healthy, physical, beautiful looking, flowful physique, and you come out with a big belly like this? Come on, Kai Greene, get into some proper condition and show the world what you can do like you did in 2012 or 11, whenever it was 12, I think, is really lean year. Fat gut, fat gut. The side tricep now. Kai manages to hide that great big belly. Very interesting indeed. I actually like Kai's leg display better in this shot than it was in the side chest. I'm not saying it's better than Dennis Wolf's. It's just improved from his side chest shot. Terrible. Now, when I look at the triceps, I'm going to have to give a slight edge to Kai Greene. Now, for you, that dinglepuss that commented about my slight edges here and there, you can't do that. You have to give a point. Listen, Buck, if I did that, then it would be a tie game now, due to my slight edges here and there for Dennis Wolf in the front lat, Kai Greene in the front double by, and they each get a side shot. You think that's fair? No. Dennis Wolf is the clear winner because he blew Kai Greene out of the whatever in the side chest. But according to that commenter, it would be a tie game. Tie indeed. That great big gut of Kai Greene. Now this is make or break time, as per usual, and it is the back development. And I am always constantly keeping in mind that Kai Greene was pregnant with 7 buckets of KFC chicken in the side chest shot, because his conditioning here appears to be better than Dennis Wolf's. Lo and behold, I believe he is just eating too much food, carbing up too much as Kai Greene, or perhaps he's drinking a lot of that aspartame or diet, what they call the sweeteners. The sweeteners, it doesn't put fat on you, but it gives you a big gut. But you can plainly see Kai Greene is more conditioned than Dennis Wolf when you look at the glutes. Dennis, let's have a different shot here. That one was not favoring Dennis at all as far as the angles. And really, it's going to be hard for Dennis Wolf to beat Kai in any back shot. I mean, look at the lower lat insertions of Kai. And not to mention the glutes, like I said, if you take a really close look, there's some loose skin on the lower half of Dennis Wolf's Baydonk-O-Donk. He does have some tight hamstrings, though. There's no loose hamstrings at all. Better than Kai's, maybe, perhaps. But the reason why it is pretty hard for Dennis ever to beat Kai is because of those calves. If Kai had a weak set of calves, I would give him the bye, but not only are Dennis's calves terrible, but they're unsymmetrical. I believe something happened to one of his calves, and really it makes it impossible, or it makes it downright stupid to train the other one and get the other one bigger. He'd be even more oblonged. So at no fault of his own, but at no fault of my own for noticing that. Food for thought here, Dennis is destroying Kai in the hard graininess of the back and in the trap department as well. The rear double bicep is an even worse shot for poor Dennis Wolf, with those non-existent lower lat insertions, and an even better one for Kai Greene. Once again, Dennis, much bigger and much better in the trap department, but that almost takes away from those lower lats. It just dwarfs them even more. Let's have a better shot, because that angle was definitely not favoring Dennis Wolf. The calves, once again, from the calves to the soft glutes. And that's another thing I get criticized. You shouldn't pay attention to the glutes, they say. Are you guys homophobics or something? This is bodybuilding. Why don't you go back to the 1800s? I'm sure there was some homophobes back then that criticize judges for looking at their abs. I'm not going to look at a man's abs. That's gay. And furthermore, what's wrong with being gay? I'm straight, but there's nothing wrong with being the other way. Anyway, guys, the glutes are important. Get over it. Deal with it. If you don't like it, go watch another sport where they cover them up. Because Dennis Wolf, he's showing that his conditioning is just not as tight as Kai Greene's here when you look at the glutes. Not to mention, once again, the calves and the back itself. I do much prefer Kai Greene's. The lower lat insertions, nice and clean and neat. Dennis Wolf kind of looks messy. But he does have some nice big delts there, I will say. The biceps of Kai Greene are definitely too much for poor Dennis Wolf. So Dennis he loses both back shots, but a stronger loss here in the rear double bi. Now on to the ab and thigh. From the rear double bi to the ab and thigh. Ask yourself why Kai has a big thick gut, because he drinks too much aspartame and eats too much food. This is a terrible version of Kai Greene. I actually like his ab and thigh. Structurally, it is still there. He has the smaller waist than the lats and the bigger booming legs with the feathering in the quads. Let's have another one of Dennis Wolf, because that one was not flattering. This one is much more flattering. Those weak calves, they mean less in a shot like this for Dennis. The ripped abs, small waistline, and V-taper, and not to mention those quads from hell. Does Dennis Wolf have? He doesn't have the feathering, but they're quads from hell. Like I said, look at the sweep. Definitely enough for Dennis Wolf to get one back here in the ab and thigh. Now the most muscular, I was actually surprised, he's such a big man. Huge, big praying mantis piece. But dare I give Dennis Wolf a loss in the most muscular? I don't know. This one actually is probably Kai's better most muscular shot. And for Dennis Wolf, I much prefer this one here. And Kai Greene really fades away in this shot. To be honest, personally, if I was Kai, I wouldn't even strike this shot. Of course, it is when you're out there and you're full of testosterone, you have to snap that most muscular. I think it's a natural pose, I think. And Dennis Wolf is naturally better than Kai Greene, rather. Apologize. So the score sheet, it is confusing, guys, but with my slight edges here and slight edges there, which one of you commenters out there, you do not like that, but it gets for a proper winner, in my opinion. And of course, at the end of the day, I am never inconclusive with a winner. I always pick a winner. Unless, of course, there is not enough pictures like the Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Mike Menzer. I mean, you really can't make a good decision when you don't have all the shots. But, guys, in this one, I have to say Dennis Wolf gets you guessed it, a slight edge. It was close, guys, but I cannot give Kai Greene the win. Not when he was that pregnant. Go look at that side chest again, and you will agree, I am sure. Of course, Dennis Wolf was missing a calf. So, really, it was a tight decision. What's worse, no calf or a great big gut? In my opinion, Kai can fix that gut. Dennis Wolf can't fix that calf, so he gets the win. And it may be controversial because, of course, the real judges picked Kai Greene as the winner. But not Mark's Max Muscle. Dennis Wolf, second place at the 2013 Mr. Olympia. Thanks again for the fan that requested this matchup. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good one, guys.